Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's all I can say. I've literally got the worst fire hazard cords, cables, cameras, everything assembled in front of me. So I'm talking to a camera that is on top of a camera that is on top of the pinball machine, so I can give you guys multiple views. And don't worry, this camera that you're looking at right now looks like garbage, and it's because you don't need to see this. You need to see the pinball machine. So let me kind of run through a couple of the views we got tonight. So we have the top-down view, 60 frames per second. We have the wide shot. Let me get out of my way here. Also running 60 frames per second. We've got the all-encompassing everything shot, so you can see me playing it. You can see the top-down view. You can see my ugly mug if you want to. If not, just put a post-it note over your screen. Won't hurt my feelings a bit. And I will do my best to keep up with the chat and pay attention to it. Obviously, playing pinball, staring at a computer screen that's away from the pinball machine, not exactly the easiest task, but let me get the chat a little more situated to where I can see it with my young eyes. Oh my God, this chat is going way faster than I thought. Greetings, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever you are. Oh my God, so many questions. I apologize. I am a one-man army. I will try to answer what I can, when I can, where I can. That is all I can say. I apologize, but that's just what it is. So, number one, can you hear me? Hey, okay, I realize I've just been rambling. I don't know if there's like an echo or how everything's working. Perfect setup. Let's go. COOLTOY. We have a little echo, Doug, on the microphone. All right. I can probably fix that really quick. Let me just switch there, because I bet it has to do with me monitoring my own sound. And I don't need to do that. If you can hear me, that's all that matters. And I realize I just bumped into one of my cameras, so hopefully it's not all cattywampus. No, we're good. Okay. What about now? Is the echo gone? Sounds great. Sounds good. We can hear you. No echo here. Let it go. No echo. Well, dang it, Patrick. You lied to me. I give you those moderator powers, and then now you... I'm just teasing. Okay. So I asked earlier what game we're going to play first. I got all sorts of different answers, but Haunted House appeared to be the most resounding answer of the early vote. So we'll go ahead and start here. I'm just navigating with the D-pad. Very simple, very easy. Going to select my game. Gives you the brief description of the game, how to play it. So we got red buttons for flippers. We got nudges on these sides as well as a nudge in the front. Typical UI interface for the AtGames ecosystem. So if you've got the ALU, you can see we got our backglass. Got here. It says calibrating the nudge accelerometer. This feature can be recalibrated, disabled in the settings. Please wait a few seconds and then hit accept. Please nudge the table to the right and press accept. So give it a good nudge. Configuration complete. All right. Size does matter. Oh my goodness. All right. So let me get the audio figured out on the gameplay, because you guys might not be able to hear it. So let me know how that sounds volume-wise. So you can hear me talking. Can you hear the game? Give me a jolly green. Yes, 1080p, 60 frames per second for all the built-in tables. That is the status quo on what everything is running. So, not right, glare. Actually, that is not glare. That is part of the game. The only glare you're probably seeing, because I got a monitor over here, is here. There's a little bit of glare. But as far as the top glass, because this is glass, I've got lights strategically behind me as opposed to on top of here. So you shouldn't be seeing any glare on top. Audio sounds perfect, sounds good. Okay, so let me just show you a little bit before we get started. I'm going to hit the menu button. So we got various options. We can call attendant, quit play, save scores, change your button mapping, settings. So you can change the master volume, the sound effects volume, and the music level volume independently per table. So you can do that globally or, all the way across. For the most vibrant experience as far as haptic feedback, they recommend putting your FX volume up higher. The way you do that, you simply select it. It's going to tell me, do I want to override the default audio? Yes. There we go. And I'm going to bump that up. That way I'm getting the biggest vibration haptics. Yeah, we'll just put it at 90. Call it good there. It goes all the way up to 100. 50 is the default. We can also change things like toggle flipper mode, HUD, backbox style. So let me show you if you can see that. So we got wide, normal, pixel perfect. So you can change how your backbox image looks. Display mode, same kind of thing. So I can change, we got cabinet mode, we got default cabinet, classic. I'm just going to leave it on default cabinet. Reset the settings, table specific audio, reset your high scores, reset your in-game goals, and you can toggle the haptics. So right now I have the haptics set on high. You can turn them off, low, medium, so you got multiple settings. And let me catch up with it. So tell us of my day so far. I don't know if you're talking to me, but my day so far has been work, set up a bunch of crazy cameras, and hopefully play some pinball for you guys. So anyways, let me back out of here. I know people are going to ask me, oops, let me turn that back to high. Comparisons as far as Arcade 1-Up and the haptics versus solenoids, or the exciters versus the solenoids. That's going to be something that everyone has their own personal preferences. The only way I can describe it to the person that's never experienced either is the solenoid feels like if I were to put my hand on a pane of glass on the Arcade 1-Up cabinet and somebody on the other side of that pane of glass tapped where my hand would be. It feels like a knock. That's what those solenoids experience as far as the tactile sensation. These exciters feels more like a vibration. So say somebody put like a loudspeaker on a table that you were resting your hands on. That is what these exciters feel like as far as the haptic vibrations. Now I do know AtGames is doing firmware tweaks and doing all sorts of changes in the background as far as their firmware, and then they're still tweaking their haptic feedback. So that may change better, worse, whatever, later down the road line. We don't really know. Okay, back to the game. Sorry. But for those curious, you have your little exciters right under here. So you put your hands on the pinball table, you automatically, like right now, I can feel the hum of the music, through those exciters. Every time I flip those flippers, should be good. Sorry, I'm staring at my monitor because I want to make sure everything's in sync. I don't ever stream 60 frames per second on YouTube, so I just want to make sure everything. But I feel that vibration of the flippers in my palms right here because that's where those exciters are resting. Okay, sorry, I'm going to stop talking and play. I'll catch up with the chat later. So we got the plunger. Oh, that was weak. Weak sauce. I'm trying to get a skill shot, and that's not happening. There we go. The great thing about Haunted House is you got like these multiple levels and tiers of your gameplay. It does get tricky, though, because it inverts your flippers a little bit when you go into the boneyards. But there's no input delay or lag or anything like that as far as the flipper's response. When I hit the button, the flippers move just how I would anticipate them and expect them to. Played a couple games, got a lot of multi-ball going. Games like Goin' Nuts where there's lots of multi-ball opportunities. I haven't seen any gameplay delays or slowdowns when there's multiple balls whizzing around the screen, so that's good. thought I was going to get them all. And I'll tell you right now, straight up, I'm not good at any of these Gottlieb games. I've always told people my pinball experience, for the most part, growing up, was always gravitating towards like the first-party IP titles like Terminator, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Addams Family. A lot of pinball tables that were based on movies, and that was whatever always captivated me as a kid, is those movies I saw. Oops, hit it way too hard. Come on. Good. And these speakers do get quite loud. I think I'm probably sitting around. Let me get to a pause section real quick where I can hold the ball. Oh, and I lost it. Definitely should have nudged it there. That's where I'm at volume-wise. Yeah, I was sitting around a 50-something. Bump it back up. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Tim says, question, any flipper delay? No flipper delay that I've picked up on yet. Jay's Chaotic Carnival of Dreams. Want to be like Dubs. Well, thank you. And thank you, Patrick, for the super chat. Appreciate that, guys. All right. Get back to this. Play this table out, and then we'll move on to another one. And I just keep losing, so that's fine. And then it pops up, asks you if you want to enter your initials, of course. I'm going to use my D-pad here, go through my letters. You can also do it with flippers, just whatever you want to do, personal preference. I've just got so used to using this D-pad that I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue to do it. Final score, not good, but whatever. It's not the goal. The goal is just to show the machine running. All right, back out. Play a different game. All right. So what else we got? Network access disabled. Yeah, that's happened to me quite a few times today. I'm not surprised. I'm running off Wi-Fi, and of course I'm streaming, and my wife's downstairs watching Netflix. So ideally, I would hook this up to Ethernet, but no, there it goes. Now it successfully grabbed it, so it must have just lost my Wi-Fi connection for a second. All right, next game. Hey, Twisted Gaming, thank you so much. Good stuff. How much are these? So this is $600, and then I had to pay $100 shipping, so $700 all wrapped up in a nice bow, delivered to my doorstep. Retail, if you want to not pay for shipping and you go, say, Sam's Club, you can save yourself $100 in 2021 when you can find these in a retail store. But the MSRP is $5.99. To die for. Holy crap. You, sir, Bobby, man, we're going to have to talk because that is too much money. I thank you greatly, but I got to get that back to you because there's no way I can accept that, man. That is way too generous. So thank you. All right, next game. What else? I think somebody said Bone Busters. We got Lights, Camera, Action, Class of 1812. You guys, let me know. What game do you want to see? Do you want to see me continue to play these tables? Do you want to see me go to ArcadeNet? You want to see me go through menus? Like, let me know. I'm doing this for you. I'm just trying to help the community as best I can. Play Cactus Jacks. If you could only have one, either... I'm not answering that, man. That's like choosing your favorite kid. Can't do it. Can't do it. Some of the games put a DMD on the digital. Whoops, sorry. That's going way fast. Good Karma comes back. Thank you, man. Pistol Poker, Class of 1812, teed off, Rescue 911. Oh, crap. Rescue 9... Getting a little bit of everything. All right, we'll go to Rescue 911 just because I saw a couple of those in a row. Yeah, see, there's your glare when the game's not on. See my beautiful ceiling fan, my Batwing ceiling fan light. I love this table art. go. And if you're wondering about the accelerometer, it took me a little while to get used to it, but like typically if I tap the table hard, it activates. Like when I shake the table just sitting here, it doesn't really do much. It's when the ball is, you know, in play or I'm slapping it that tilt function gets activated. Or I can, or excuse me, not tilt, that nudge. Or I can hit the nudge. There's left, right, getting that warning, and the front nudge, of course. But everything's been very responsive. These 911 calls crack me up. Just the things these people say. There we go. There's a multi-ball for you. As I lose it. Here, I'll just give you some straight up top-down gameplay. You don't have to see my mug anymore. Oh, lost it again. There we go. Let's get the chopper. There we go. This is what I was like. You pick up the ball with the chopper and then drop it off. There we go. Come on. There we go. The little life save noise they make reminds me so much of the beginning intro of The Simpsons. Like the little, oh. I don't know if you guys can hear that through the microphone when it happens, but oh, wow. That one shot straight down. All right, and again, let's put in our paltry record. All right. Back out. Choose a different game. See, I think I saw Class of 1812 was a suggestion. Pick it. There we go. Start the game. There we go. This looks amazing. I am in. Send me away to pay games. Wow, that looked fun. Looking good. Size compares to Star Wars. So 32-inch playfield versus 24-inch playfield. I'll have to do measurements and all that. I know there's a spreadsheet out there, as much as people make fun of spreadsheets, that has like all your specs and your details comparing all the pinball machines that are coming out in 2021. I'll try to link it on Twitter or something again. But right off the top of my head, I forget all the measurements of all the machines. But this is by far a longer, bigger machine overall than the Arcade 1-Up. So like if you've got less space, then obviously Arcade 1-Up's going to be probably better for you as far as space conscientious decisions. This is closer to a full-size machine, but it's still not a full-size machine. Da, da, da. I can't get enough of the balking. Let's go back to the main. Sorry, so you can see everything as I lose my multi-ball. But overall, I think the screen looks good. Very happy with the the quality and the crispness of the main playfield. 1080p is definitely a nice to have on 32 inches. I lost it. So I really hope no one was like tuning in expecting me to be awesome at these games, because you will be disappointed. I'm just here to help educate and show you the machine do its thing. Shoot the ball. Oh.
My name is Billy. My breath is smelly. When it's black, it's nice. I love to buy.
Come on. Ah, missed it. No excuse. No excuse for that. All right, I'm just going to throw in the A's because I'm not worried about scorers. All right, go back to the top-down view. All right, what else we got? Monster Bash. Question mark. These definitely look like 70s classics. Yeah, if you're not a fan of the 70s and these tables, then I don't know what to tell you. You may like them, you may not. I can't answer that. There it was. Nudge has to be fixed. Other than that, nice starter machine. Says Mike, how much is this thing? $699. Well, $100 shipping is what I paid for it, so $700 total. Black Hole, okay. Got to vote for Black Hole. Lights, Camera, Actions, another vote we got. I do love these tables that have the multi-layers and the tiers and everything. It just adds a whole nother aspect to the gameplay. Like I said, you get those kind of inverted control schemes going once you get those second, third levels. It's pretty cool. Oh, lost it. Throw in those initials again. All right, backing out. What do we got next? Gottlieb was ahead of its time, says Show Mubu. The upgrades they did from the previous version are so much better. I agree. I like the black trim as far as the side rails and everything. This one did ship with, let's call them just matte finish pinball legs. They're not chrome. I was led to believe they were going to be chrome. Still trying to figure out if that was a snafu at the warehouse or if that was just a late minute change that didn't happen, couldn't happen, will happen later. I don't know. I'm still trying to get an update on that one. So can't answer definitively story on that, but either way, the pinball legs are sturdy, the build quality, everything. You know, it's a nice feeling machine. I didn't feel like I was going to break it. I can also pick it up, which is nice because it's awkward, but I can pick it up and move it around by myself. I don't recommend you do it that way, but it can be done should you need to. So pistol poker, black trim, play teed off, pistol poker. Okay, I saw 2 pistol poker votes in a row. I think that one is... There we go. Good old pistol poker.
Howdy, partner.
Who doesn't love old Western culture? I know I do.
Joker. Ready, aim, fire.
Lost. Didn't want that one. Didn't want that card. And you can adjust the sensitivity of the accelerometer in here. So like if you're, smacking the machine, you don't want that nudge to be as sensitive, you can bump it down. I think I honestly have it turned all the way up. Last I was tinkering with it earlier today, but I slap the machine there, you see the playfield move, or again, you can hit the buttons to do it. But you can adjust the sensitivity, so if you're a very aggressive player and you're like constantly smacking the side of the machine, hitting those flipper buttons, and you don't like the nudge going off that easy, well, you can just dial it down in the settings.
Ready, aim, fire.
Oh, crap.
Get out of town by sundown.
That sounds like Harrison Ford to me. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it sounds like as far as the voice actor on this game. I know it's not, but it just sounds like old curmudgeon Harrison Ford to me. All the way around.
Ready, aim, fire.
See if we can actually finish a hand here. I say that as I lose the ball. So quickly answers that. All right. What else after pistol poker? How's the feedback? The feedback is good. It could be better. That is something that I've told them, and that is something I know they're honestly working on because they're literally had me test a different firmware today that had some feedback adjustments. Not saying it's bad by any means. It just, like I said, you rest your palms. Let me get to a different shot. All right, so like I said, the little exciters are right here. You rest your palms on the machine. You feel those vibrations. That's fine. It feels like a vibration and doesn't feel like an impact. That's not a detraction or a negative comment. That's just an observation from me. Everything feels vibrational and rumbling in your palms. That's good, but it doesn't feel like, a knock or an impact, which is the type of sensation you get from solenoids. So like I said, different technology. It's not an apples to apples comparison, but I do know they are currently tweaking the settings, and I will potentially be switching out these exciters with some different ones because we're still trying to figure out if I'm 100% getting the same experience that they are as far as AtGames on their machines testing it back to the factory and everything. So jury's still out on that, but it's not bad. but it could be better. That's my initial impression for a machine that I've literally had for 24 hours. So take it for whatever it is, or ignore it for whatever it is. You're not going to hurt my feelings any shape, form, or factor. I don't think my opinion holds any more merit or weight than anybody else. I'm just here to help people, and I don't have any ego, so just trying to help. All right, so will Arcade stream Steam? Later on, I do believe it will. I haven't tested it as of right now. I do know local streaming is not turned on the menus. Leprechaun table, cue ball wizard. It has glass to answer Wilhelm Stein's question. So this is a glass and not acrylic top. Out of the box, it comes with 22 Gottlieb tables, and then it also has some ArcadeNet tables, and then the ability to add additional tables. Lights, camera, action. Man, you guys are not helping me. There's a different vote for a different game every single time. Well, I'm going to go with lights, camera, action, as I just freaking passed it up, just because I'm a film nerd. All right, go back to our main view. How easy was it to put together? The question asks. Extremely easy. So literally all you have to do is put on the 4 legs, 2 screws each, Allen wrench key. Don't even need a power tool or anything. Just Allen wrench the legs on there. The back box comes 100% pre-assembled. All I had to do is literally take it out of the box, set it on the machine, and there's 4 wing nut screws. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4 with 4 wing nut screws. Like, you don't even need a screwdriver. You literally do it by hand, tighten it down, connect 2 cables. So you'll connect your power and your signal for your display here, and then bada bing, bada boom, you're up and running. It literally will take you more time to take it out of the box and unwrap everything than it will to put it together. If I was not recording the experience and doing it, I would say it literally is going to take me 15 minutes to put this machine together. Like I said, you'll spend more time taking it out of the box, unwrapping, unpeeling, and all that. And it did come with an absurd amount of protective cardboard layering, foam layering, plastic over the screen. Like, I was initially slightly worried about, it having a glass top. That's great for people that have pets and kids, and easier to clean. You don't have to worry about scratching it, but it's also twice as hard to ship because, people throw these things around on retail store shelves, falls over, breaks, and then how do you replace it? That type of thing. But no, everything came well packaged, well protected, didn't have any like nicks or scuffs or damaged corners or anything. It looked pretty good right out of the box, and that or shipping box didn't look like DHL kicked it around a whole lot, so that was nice. How is the side art? So the side art is on there. There is no like protective. So the Arcade 1-Up one has like a protective film right here. This doesn't. I've been told that this is using high enough quality graphics that I don't have to worry about rubbing. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the monitor and I'm watching myself caress the side of this cabinet, and it's a little creepy, but what I'm trying to illustrate is I've been told that there's no worry about the rubbing off of the graphics with the oils in our fingers or anything like that. Time will tell. We'll find out. But side art is a collage of all the different Gottlieb games that are built on in here. So if you like those games, you're going to love this side art. If you don't like the games, you may not like the side art. But as we all know, with all these things, you can customize them to your choosing. If you want to buy artwork, I'm sure somebody out there for sure will be making artwork for these machines, no doubt. That's right. I won that quick draw. What is the monitor type connection on the backglass? Detroit Love asks. So the monitor connection on the backglass is a thin ribbon cable. It is the main monitor of the playfield here uses an LVDS cable connection. So LVDS for the main playfield, ribbon cable for the backglass. So if you wanted to replace this backglass with a giant, bigger screen for whatever reason, you're going to run into some headaches trying to figure that out, because it's just not going to be as simple as plugging in something different with a LVDS to HDMI cable or anything like that. As far as the playfield, again, LVDS. If you wanted to stream, theoretically, hook this playfield up, and that way you're not doing this top-down camera like I'm doing. Have a direct stream of your playfield to like a capture card or something like that, theoretically you could connect an LVDS to HDMI connector board and hook it up that way. I've yet to see one that works, or I've heard about one that works, but I've yet to see it working, and I'm a guy that has to see it to believe it type of thing first and foremost, so. So similar to like the arcade 1-up cabinet, if you want to modify this and change and swap things out, buttons, that's easy things to do. But if you want to do like severe undertakings like screens, monitors, things like that, for whatever reason that you choose to swap out, like I said, you do you. But if you do that, it's more than likely going to cost you more time and money than it's honestly worth. But, you know, everybody values time and money differently. So, again, you do whatever you like. No judgments here. But I do think it's a little silly to, you know, potentially pay $700 for something if you're going to spend another $700 gutting it and replacing components and things like that. So if you were going to do that, I would think you would just build your own virtual pinball machine at that point. All right, what's next? 4K, not 4K. It's not a 4K display, no. As cool as that would be, yeah, you're not going to get a 4K display for this price point by any means. And even then, it would take some beefy hardware to run these games natively 4K, especially 6 frames per second. And I mean, you're talking gaming, like what is down here running this stream right now is my gaming PC. That could pull off 4K 60 frames per second pinball, no problem. But that I also built. Cost me almost $2,000, and that's the build price. That's not even like the retail price. If you buy it at a store retail, it'd be stupid expensive. So, all right, what else? Teed off. Okay, I was about to say, I know I saw a couple for teed off. So let's get teed off. That's my angry impersonation because I'm a super mellow guy.
He addresses the ball.
Hello, ball.
All right, go for time. Sorry, just checking it. Can you see the score on the backglass? So yes, so every one of them is different, but score is... Oop, I just realized one of my cameras froze. Hang on.
Shoot the ball.
Let me switch here.
Shoot the ball.
I'm trying to figure out why one of my cameras is frozen.
Shoot the ball.
Give me 1 second, guys. I just noticed that wide.
Shoot the ball.
Yeah, it's completely frozen. Let me just see if I can refresh it real quick.
Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball.
If not, I can just go back to the top. But I don't know why that... Maybe my camera is overheated.
Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. It's the downside of having, like I said, this overcomplicated
Shoot the ball.
stream that I got going on right here.
Shoot the ball. Shoot the ball.
Yep. I don't know. For whatever reason, that camera does not want to wake up. So we'll move on without it. Apologies.
Shoot the ball.
Sam, to answer your question, yeah, the one that is currently froze right now is my expensive camera. The camera itself is not actually frozen. It's just for whatever reason my streaming software is not registering any changes on it. Like I can see my camera
Teach you how to play this game.
display recording just fine, but for whatever reason my streaming software has lost the signal. It doesn't want to reboot.
Hey, you got your eyes open or what? Looks like you need some serious help. Shoot for the volcano. That was a good shot.
That was a good shot, he says. And I missed it. Control-Alt-Delete. Appreciate the suggestion, Soul Man.
Chill out.
So I have to be like very sensitive of what I try to do to reboot that camera on the stream, because it'll like, you know, kill the stream in a heartbeat if I hit the wrong button. So I'm over there like being very, very ginger with how I was trying to figure stuff out, and I just don't want to keep you guys waiting.
Hey, you got your eyes open or what? Looks like you need some serious help.
I'll just turn it off while I'm not using it. Maybe it needs just to cool down.
That was a good shot.
That was a good shot. If only this gopher would do the Caddyshack dance. See the rest of the goods, says Greg. Greg, you'll have to be slightly more specific. You just mean different tables, different features. What are you looking for when you say the goods? Take 5 minutes and fix it and come back. Hey, I'm all for that. Will you guys wait 5 minutes? Let me know. Say yay or nay. Because I can put on Sonic on the wait screen, and I can troubleshoot that camera for 5 minutes. That way we get back to the angle where we see everything. You know, Now we should be good. Yeah. All right, I think we're good now. This is what happens when you get too many cables, cords, connections going on simultaneously, and you're a one-man show. So, back, camera works, sound should be working. Patrick, thank you. I'll get your money back for letting me know, but we should be good. Fixed, yay, okay. That's the downside of delay in the chat. All right, audio's good. Do you want me to keep playing built-in table games? Do you want me to move on? And I just realized this camera's like cockeyed. Sorry if you got to stare at my palm there. I really wish I could just show you how absurdly stupid this setup is, but doing it for you guys, so don't hate. Get back to business. Demo. That was great halftime show. Right and Bright. Cactus Jack. Okay, well, let's just go to Cactus Jack. We will go to Cactus Jack's plural. This is going against like everything I ever learned in media school as far as like, you know, look at the hard cam. And I'm like, I'm staring at the playfield and I'm also staring at this screen and I'm also staring at that screen, and it's just too much. It's too much.
Welcome to Cactus Jack. It's party time.
All right, so before I realized that everything had died on here and I was trying to answer the question, can you see the score on the back box? Yes. It changes for every different game. But here, Cactus Jack, it's in these tiny little lines right here. Obviously, you get this big, beautiful image of Cactus Jack, but the score itself is pretty small. You can, again, manipulate the size of the image on the DMD, but it doesn't really change the score. So if you're blind, you got bad eyes, even that 15.6 inches, that score still may not be big enough for you. It's polka time. Right out of the gate, we're getting multi-ball. Oh, almost set off the tilt. I really do like the effect of the cactus plants moving around once you hit those bumpers. Gives a nice little three-dimensional look. Gotta love the catchy little cow polka music. Get some multi-ball going again. But see, we got two balls bouncing around and whizzing around, 60 frames per second. Not seeing any slowdown or sluggishness as far as the physics, so that's nice. It's exactly what you'd want to see. So yeah, 2021's looking to be the year of pinball because you got lots of great offerings out there from two companies right out of the gate. And there's Well Played Toys also making a pinball machine. You got Toy Shocks also got their new updated versions. So yeah, good time for consumers. Lots of options. Multiple options always means, you know, better products in the long run. So that's nice. And away we go.
It's polka time.
Wank, wank. Good old Affleck. And I lost it. Lost it. I hope none of these scores end up being decent. I don't think they will, but it's gonna. The boards will be littered with AAA. At least until more of these machines get in people's hands. All right, what do we got next? You want me to keep playing tables, naming tables? Let me know. Start shouting out tables you want to see me play, or move on, change something different. Let me check out the chat here. ArcadeNet games. Okay, we can do that. Shake the cabinet for us. Does it affect ball travel? Oh, okay. As my power cord just falls off. I haven't noticed it affecting the ball travel. I've only really noticed it like moving the machine. Like I haven't felt like I've got to like nudge the ball an inch across the playfield yet. Something old. Gladiator, Gladiator, Gladiator. Okay. All right. Plug my computer back in so I don't lose stream. All right. Gladiators. And all these games boot up pretty quick, so that's nice. And there's no audible humming or anything of any kind of cooling fans. This machine's relatively whisper quiet as far as you turn it on, and if you're not playing a game or anything, it's just dead silent. Just like the arcade, the ALU cabinet itself, you can add a track mode video to it and change the background of the menus and all that, so you can kind of customize this to your own choosing if you wish. That was like the shortest ball ever. That's what I get for talking and not focusing on those flippers. Tells me to shake the ball loose, but I also don't want to tilt. I'm shaking, lady. Just realized it was sitting there the whole time. That's my bad. Sorry, so let me get the ball down here and shake. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm moving the ball when I get that nudge engaged. I get, a little shimmy of the table, but I don't feel like I'm shifting the ball over, basically being able to pass it flipper to flipper. That's definitely a skill player thing where you can kind of hand it off from one flipper to the next. I don't feel like I can do that here. Sorry, that was very short gameplay, so I apologize if Gladiator was your favorite game. But again, we're just kind of trying to show them operating, show them functioning. All right, what's next? I think you need to recalibrate my nudge. Well, I do have it here. It's a good suggestion, Mike. I'll go ahead and show that real quick. Go to settings, because I think I had it all the way turned on to like maximum. So master volume. I'm trying to remember where it was. I think it's a different menu altogether. Back up. You'll have to bear with me because I've literally only tinkered around with this just a little bit, trying to remember where that option is. I thought it was right here in the pinball settings. But I don't see it. We can change our display again. Flipper mode, flippers inverted, back box style. Where did I mess with that earlier? Maybe it was just in the game setting that I was, yeah. Go back. We'll pick a different game. Do Bone Busters real quick. Doug, can you move the camera and give us a good view of the plunger and action for skillets, etc.? Yes. First, let me get this accelerometer thing fixed and situated. Settings, there we go. All right. Configure accelerometer. accelerometer sensitivity. So it's at half. Okay. So I had it bumped up all the way to 1 earlier, but now it's at half. So let me just bump it down. Mike, is that what you're asking me? You want me to bump it down as far as sensitivity? Because I am slapping the flippers a little bit, so we'll just cut it in half. Yep. Call it good there. All right. Like that COOLTOY marquee. All right, call attendant. What does that do? So if you get the ball stuck or the game freezes, it essentially reboots the game, I do believe. Honestly, haven't pressed it, but I mean, that's what the real pinball machines used to do. You hit that button and somebody come and help you work on the machine. Let's see. Try to catch up, make sure. All right, play Bone Busters real quick, and then I'll change the camera so you can see the plunger, because it'll be me having to get out of the way. Because right now it works, but I'm kind of blocking. Okay, it's definitely less sensitive as far as the accelerometer, so cutting in half did work. At least I'm able to physically tell changes. And here I'll hit that call attendant button because, like I said, I was just guessing at what it does. I honestly haven't hit it. The ball is not stuck. Canceling call attendant. Okay, so yeah, my guess was right. If the ball gets stuck, whatever, call attendant will somehow assist you. I've yet to get a ball stuck, so I can't really tell you how that works yet. My thought process would be, though, if you get the ball stuck, you're just going to hit the nudge button and you'll be all right. So you may never, ever use that call attendant button. Come on. I lost it. I got like no reaction time tonight. I see it going off the sides and I'm like, I should hit the nudge button. That's what I tell myself in my head, and then I look down and it's already gone. I'm like, oh, I should have already hit the nudge button. That one was just a fastball straight down the middle. Oh no, I thought I tilted it for a second. All right, A. Continue. All right, back. All right, Patrick, you're going to have to explain specifically what you mean by move the camera, like where you want it, how you want it, because I will move it and set it up however your little heart's desire. So overall, it looks pretty solid. If they made a V2 someday, what would you tell them to improve? So assuming the price point is the same and everything, I personally so far have liked the experience of solenoids versus more than the exciters. But again, that comes with the disclaimer of the fact that they're still working on tweaking the exciters and that experience may change. What I'm saying now may not hold up 3 weeks, 3 months down the road. But as of today, 24 hours of owning this machine and having the Arcade 1-Up machine, I like the solenoids more than the exciters. But it doesn't mean these exciters are bad. It's just personal preference, and you might have the complete opposite opinion. You guys, everybody's unique. Everyone's got their own opinion. But so far, love the playfield. I like that. I like the backglass. I do wish the scores were maybe a little bit bigger. It's fine, though. For me, I'm 36, and I can read it just fine, but I know there's people out there that don't have as young eyes as me and doesn't have that 20/20 vision. So even though it's got a 15.6-inch backglass screen, some of those scores are still pretty thin and narrow across that screen, so I know that might be troublesome for some people. I'd like to see chrome legs as opposed to the matte finish legs, and again, I said the jury's still out. Don't know if I just got an early rush out the door sample order, because I did order this like the moment it went on sale, so maybe they just didn't put the chrome legs on it, but I'd like to see chrome legs. Build everything, like I said, it's got glass top. I like the glass top. I like the illuminated marquee. And this is not really a criticism by any means, but I don't think we need to see Legends Pinball 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So we see it here. We see it here right now. We see it right here. And then we also see it on the front of the coin door. Obviously, they can brand it. It's their machine. They do whatever you want. But I don't think you need to brand it that many times with the same verbiage. So that's just, a 2 cents overview. But other than that, I really like it. I think it's definitely worth the money. I don't think you can go wrong with either machine. If you got the money, buy both machines because they're both good for different reasons in different areas. If you don't have the money, do a pros and cons list of the features and specialties and, the games, and just make your own educated decision. Say, hey, what works best for me in my household? What financially makes the most sense? Space makes the most sense? What games do I enjoy playing the most? Do you like this versus that? Do you like this online feature? Do you need an online feature? Just weigh those options yourself and make an educated decision, because that's what consumers should do. All right. Sorry, I got talking, Patrick. I apologize. I'll have to scroll back here and find out what Patrick wants me to do as far as moving that camera. Is it waterproof? No, it is not waterproof, Stringer. Oh, that's funny stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. Audio running behind. So, yeah, this camera, 30 frames per second. These cameras, this one, the top-down camera, 60 frames per second. So there may be some weird audio syncing going on. I bumped this one down to 30 frames because I didn't think it would matter. I thought you guys would care more about the pinball playing as opposed to my voice. So, sorry, I am trying to keep up with this chat. Scott Gray says, I'm 137 years old, just like Joe Lewis, and that is like the best thing I've ever read tonight. Thank you, Scott. That's awesome. All right. Trying to... GTO helps. Yo, Doug. See. Okay. Whoever asked about text, I reported this to AtGames. The text instructions at the bottom are horrible. They need to be clear. 1080p. Farsight Studios. Oh, I think he's talking about the playfield text for sure. 29.97 is default stream setting. Yeah. You may have to manually go to the cog and change it to 1080p 60 if you're doing it that way. All right. I may have... Yes, this is an Orange Cassidy shirt. Thank you for noticing. I didn't want anybody to get confused and think it's like some awkward like self-promotion YouTube thing. No, Orange Cassidy, one of my favorite AEW rollers. Can I connect an Xbox controller? Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what Patrick was wanting me to do as far as moving the camera. Can you nudge the machine without the button? Yes, you can. You essentially mess with the accelerometer settings and sensitivity, and when you're playing and you're slapping the machine, it'll pick up that vibration and it'll nudge the machine that way. Or you can just hit the buttons. So to each their own. Again, you can, if you're an aggressive player and you're like slapping the bejesus out of the machine, it's going to be nudging all the time. So you obviously don't want to do that. So you'll have to kind of fine tune it and tweak it to your personal playing style. All right, Patrick, remind me to get you your money back for these too, by the way. Zoom in more of the table to show the accelerometer effect, Hall effect of the plunger, and depth of the playfield are the requests. Okay, so here, we'll go to a game, and then I will take the camera off the tripod, and we'll get some close-ups in action. So what? Here, we'll do Al's Garage Band. And just nausea warning for anybody. This camera is about to go mobile, so be prepared for that. I don't want to make anybody nauseous as I take this off the tripod. And I just realized the game is moving. So I think this is what TechBuzz Steven was mentioning as far as the text. So that is 1080p zoomed in with the camera right on top of it. Very hard to read. Obviously, I'm zoomed in super close, so you can read it. But when I'm sitting here playing this at eye level, it's very hard to read that. Get some close-up shots of the table. Like I said, everything's got a nice depth 3D kind of appearance. I really like how it presents itself in displays. I think the rest of the text on the table is pretty easy to read. Obviously, it varies table to table. But I'd agree with Steven. Down here at the very bottom, the instructions and things like that, these are a little blurry, especially this part right here. I mean, I got to zoom in like super close to even make that visible on camera. But yeah, it's great looking. Let me go up here to the back box. You got your marquee. And this is what I was talking about earlier with a camera on top of a camera. So that's just a little bit of a janky setup, but you got to do what you got to do to make the people happy. All right, so let me get a game started again real quick, and I'll just show you the plunger functioning as best I can here. Because I'm, again, one-man band.
Introducing Al's Garage Band.
All right. Well, that one's probably not a good example because there's no like meter right here. So let me back out and go to a different game. Because this one doesn't really show like the plunger going back because it's just all black right here. So let me back out to a different table. The back is not animated, the translate. If you're talking about the Legends pinball portion, no, that is not animated. That is just a static image. The back box itself is animated, like the display right here. This animates depending on what games you're playing and what's going on the table. Sorry, pick a different game. And all this is easy to read and crisp as far as the menus. I don't have any issues with how this stuff looks. Again, it's just your standard ALU type of menu setting. You got volume here in the corner. I know it's very dark, but I was trying to avoid glare. You got your source selection, your USBs. I've got my add-on games put in there on that secondary USB and then an HDMI input as well. But let me just pick Central Park. Can't remember if that one's got a plunger visible. Okay, yeah. Alright, so this is going to be slightly tricky. I'll try to hold the camera steady, but plunger. As I pull it back, you can see the plunger slowly moving here. And you can see my bare feet. I'm in my house, don't judge me. But see, it does respond quite well. Got that nice Hall effects tile. I assume it's Hall effect. I mean, that's your typical technology for these type of things. And then let it rip. And I'm not playing right now, so this is definitely going to go straight down the middle. But again, text down here is a little hard to read, but overall, the depth of these playfields transmits quite nicely on this 1080p screen. Looks nice, crisp and clear. So let me go ahead and throw this back on the tripod and we'll play some more games or move on or do whatever. So let me know. Want to move on, play a different game, show different features. Let me know what you guys want to see. Obviously, I got to sit here and talk to this for like 5 seconds while the chat catches up because there's that delay or whatever, but we'll see if we can figure it out together. All right. Oh, I love context. I have no context, but I see Bobby Broadway asking, how funky is your chicken and how loose is your goose? And that's making my evening. Is it possible to play some new tables, 90s and forward? So yes, you can add your own tables. Since I'm streaming off my gaming PC, that's not ideal for me to do that right now. I can show you the ArcadeNet future pinball games that are out there and available. But as far as additional games and hooking up like my gaming PC and playing tables off my gaming PC on this machine, can I do it? Yes. Can I do it right now on tonight's stream? Unfortunately not. I'll do that in a later dedicated video. So display is sharp looking. I agree. Are they all Gottlieb tables? The 22 built-in ones, yes. The ArcadeNet add-on ones, no. Those are, community-made games. And then the add-on games you throw on here, that's to each your own. Like that's whatever your little heart's desire, because essentially you can turn this machine into a controller and a display. So whatever you want to hook up a controller and a display to, you can, for whatever way you want to describe it, you can play whatever your little heart's desire. Leprechaun, ArcadeNet. Okay, so we will go to the other features. Let's make back out of here. And I'll tell you right now, since this is running off Wi-Fi, I'm just guessing that I'm going to have some latency issues because you don't want to stream pinball typically. You want to have it being connected, especially if you're playing over the internet. You want it connected to Ethernet, but my gaming PC is connected via Ethernet right now because it's running the stream. But we'll go up here to ArcadeNet, and I got to sign in because it kicked me out. So let me switch to, a different. You'll just have to stare at my forehead for a second while I enter in my password. I hope you understand that I don't necessarily want to share my login password with everybody. So give me a brief moment while I sign back in because it did sign me out. And entering the password and everything is actually pretty handy since we have this D-pad. All I'm doing is using the D-pad to type on their virtual keyboard. Like I said, if you've played the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade, this is the same type of login and experience and UI that you're already accustomed to. So, okay. Looks like we're logged in. All right. We are back. And go to ArcadeNet. So you got your ArcadeNet normal standard games, which do work, by the way. I can hook up a controller into a USB port, play these games on this screen or on that screen. So that's one cool feature. So if you wanted to play vertical or horizontal games, I can play horizontal games up there, or I can play horizontal games down here with the middle of the screen kind of subdivided for horizontal games. These all work. which is kind of surprising. You can use the built-in D-pad, the flipper controls. Obviously, that's not ideal, and I don't really suggest anybody try to play those games, but you can do it that way for whatever reason. I was tinkering around, and I played some the other day, yesterday evening, just to see if it worked, and by God, it did. It's kind of funny, kind of surprising, but let me go bring up our little sub-menu here, and we'll change over to the Cloud Pinball. And here are our Cloud Pinball games. So we got Blue versus Pink, Invader, Junkyard Cats, Skittles, Space Ramp, Leprechaun King, Timpex, and Texas Poker, Leprechaun King's Team Play. We'll just do Leprechaun King real quick because I think that one's probably what everybody's the most familiar with. Gives you a little, your standard brief description. Catch up with this. By the sound of the clicking, I know you're PW. I have the same combination of my luggage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had the same password since 1997 for most of my accounts, so if you want to hack my stuff, go right ahead. But so far, knock on wood, it's held strong since 1997 because I've had the same login information. I've been COOLTOY since the 90s. It's not some dumb name I came up with. Try a non-pinball game. Yes, I will. I will play some non-pinball games. See, wish they had a release date. Terminator, Sledgehammer, Star Wars Arcade 1-Up would be fine except for Kylo on the marquee. Oh, there's a lot of people that really hate that new trilogy. I'm not one of them. So one thing on these ArcadeNet title / future pinball tables and things like that, you'll notice there's nothing going on the back box display. That is going to be part of a future update later on, but as of right now, you're not getting that secondary back box display on these games. But since they're essentially just kind of, an added bonus, can't really complain about it. So we got Leprechaun King. We're being welcomed to the Emerald Isle. So one thing I'm noticing is I'm using this D-pad as my plunger as opposed to the plunger. I don't know if that's a quirk, configuration, my own ignorance, but for whatever reason, plunger doesn't work on this. D-pad does. I say that, and it looks like the game froze. I can pull up my little top menu there. We'll quit and back out. Go back into it. Like I said, running these type of games over Wi-Fi, not ideal. Not how I would suggest playing it. I would tell you to plug in your Ethernet cable into the back of your machine, but since mine is currently occupied, you'll have to bear with me. So if this sucks, there's nothing really I can do about it because I don't have a spare Ethernet connection handy. It's downstairs plugged into my TV. Loading.
Welcome to Emerald Isle. Enjoy the
There we go. I probably should have popped up the frames per second so I could have saw what we're at. Yeah. Let me see if I can toggle that over. That might be super hard to see. All right, let me show you just real quick because that is too tiny for that top view camera. So again, this is running off of Wi-Fi with me streaming and doing all this. So this is definitely not ideal. So we've got some pretty high latency, but it is recording 60 frames per second as of right now anyway. We'll try to pay attention to see if that dips off during gameplay any. So again, as always, my suggestion would be to connect it to Ethernet for an optimal experience. Yeah, so far our frame rate's not dropping. But I definitely have, latency in my flippers, as evident by my red latency since I'm running Wi-Fi here. So it works. Just currently my current configuration's not ideal. Let me try a different game. See if we get a better experience for whatever reason with a different game. Let's go. Let's do Timpex. This one's very, very. Oh, it just kicked me off. Timpex is very reminiscent of Tempest. Again, stare at my forehead, so I log back in because it booted me out. Oh wait, never mind. It's being a little cantankerous this evening. It just picked my signal back up, so maybe it's just my Wi-Fi being spotty. Malachi Shepherd, try Timpex. Okay, so that was just dumb luck, but hope this works. Junkyard Cats is awesome. How does the fluidity of the ball look for you in game? Clearly, for us, it's a bit choppy because it's streamed. For all the built-in games, ball fluidity is perfect. These future pinball games right now, it's like 90% what it should be as far as latency. Oh, wow. So this just, I don't know if I just tweaked a setting or not, but that is obviously not how we want that. Weird. I totally played this earlier and it did not do that. That's not good. I'll back out and try something else. I don't know why I did that. Let's do blue versus pink. I don't think I had a setting earlier. I thought all I did was turn on the frames per second. Fingers crossed we have better luck with this one. Which tables will be available natively? So the 22 Gottlieb tables, these ArcadeNet tables, and then later on down the road they will also have the Zakaria, pronounce it however you want. Well, it definitely does not want me to play. We'll go one more time with Timpex because blue versus pink is not one to load. Same thing happened to you, says Malachi. Okay. COOLTOY finding all the bloopers. Hey, I'm happy to find the bloopers because that means they know exactly what to go back to the drawing board and fix. And that's one thing I've really enjoyed about the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade is my experience with, it's sideways again. So this is not what we want. But anyways, my initial experience with the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade cabinet when it first came out versus my experience with it now is like night and day. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the same type of thing where it only gets better and grows and continues to improve. Yeah, because that's not working. Worked earlier, but it's definitely not working now. How about Junkyard Cats? Slang Young. I call it Zaxter. Interesting. So this is definitely giving me the most trouble I've had thus far playing these. This was not my experience earlier, and again, this could be chalked up to my Wi-Fi, but I won't know until I test it some more. So if we strike out here, we'll just test out the normal horizontal games, and I'll show you add-on games and things like that. because this is kind of, oh, okay. Junkyard Cats is going vertical at least, so we're looking better there.
We're busting out of this joint.
All right. Okay. So far, so good.
Shoot the blinking shots, kiddo.
Oh. There was a Saturday morning cartoons, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but it had a bunch of like space cats. In the same vein of like biker mice from Mars, and I was trying to remember what that show is called. It's literally going to drive me crazy for the rest of the night, but nudge features work. So I hit my table nudge buttons, those work. Front nudge. I am feeling, the sound from the exciters in my palms right here. It's definitely, see, plunger's not responding on here, but the D-pad is, so I'm not sure if that's a configuration or what, but it works. The plunger's not working right now. So maybe that's an easy fix with a firmware update.
It's not over yet.
But as far as how this game plays, the gameplay is good. It would play better if I had it hooked up to Ethernet, because there is a mild input delay that I can feel in the flippers. And I know that's due to the connection and not the game itself, because I plugged it into Ethernet when I tested it earlier this afternoon. It worked fine when I tested Timpex and a couple others. Extra ball at 200 hits. That seems a little egregious. Come on, get that ramp. There we go. I love the table art on this. Whoop. Let's see if I can show you a better view of the table. Oh, of course this pops up. So anyways, I'll try to show it. The bumpers look nice and, three-dimensional. Nice ramp and everything. Overall, table looks good. All right, back out of here. Get our little menu at the top there. Hats, only $16. Links. Oh, you're too much, Patrick. I appreciate it. Thundercats. Did anybody think of that show? Sorry, if anybody had Eek the Cat. No, it wasn't Eek the Cat. SWAT's Cat. SWAT Cats. That might be it. That might be what I was thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking space. One of them have like a black Lone Ranger-esque eye mask. I don't have any add-on pinball tables, mainly just because I've been waiting for this pinball machine. Like, I had zero interest in playing pinball on the Legends Ultimate machine, like that. I knew this was coming, so I was like, why don't I just wait until this comes so I can do that? But let me change this over to the normal ArcadeNet games, and I'll show you randomly what this kind of experience looks like. So, I'm trying to remember which one of these is vertical. I want to say they were all maybe not vertical. find a simple... Here, we'll just do Stormblade. That's a shmup, but I think it's horizontal. Luke Quackenbush, thanks again for being a guinea pig. Hey, happy to assist. Thank you for the super chat, Luke. I greatly appreciate that. All right, so this is an ArcadeNet game. It's got a border, as you can see on the top and the bottom here. And I can plug in a controller, but I'm literally just going to use this D-pad and these built-in flipper buttons just for comedic relief. Let's call it that. Because obviously this is not how you would want to prefer to play a game, but... And I don't even have a clue what the controls are going to be. Oh, that's more credits. That's my menu. We'll see how this works. Alright, so my D-pad. It's moving. Alright, that flipper button. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so my flipper buttons do nothing. What do I got as I die? Okay, so my front nudge is the default trigger. Like I said, obviously, plug in a controller. That's the best way to play this type of thing. But the fact that it's just like an additional bonus that you can do on this machine is kind of neat. Obviously, there's nothing going on in the backglass. But I've got a lot of the playfield taken up. See my rewind button. It's my, like, bomb drop. This is absolutely silly. I will 100% admit that. Do you want to play games like this? Probably not. Can you? Yes. And that's for you to judge how silly, stupid, awesome, form your own opinion for this type of feature, but it is here. It is an option. And if I can beat a whole level playing like this, that's just silly. But so far, there's no, like, frame drops. This game's playing pretty smooth. It's smoother than a couple of those future pinball tables we were trying earlier. Alright, let me see. I think I might have a Xbox controller nearby. Yeah. So this is a wired Xbox One controller, which I think, theoretically, I should be able to plug there we go. Into the USB port. I bet I probably have to switch control mode. There we go. See if I can use this controller to navigate. Alright, controller. Okay, so plugged in Xbox One wired controller into the USB port. Able to navigate so far. I don't know if I'll be able to play. I don't know how well the mapping works. But we shall find out. Live and in Technicolor. 20 points for anybody that knows that reference. Trying to find a good choice. Do Shock Troopers. Okay, so far A button's working. Loading. While it's loading, see if I can see any of the chat here. What else can you front nudge? How do you switch the game to the backglass? In my opinion, that would be more ideal. So that is in the settings menu. And let me... Okay, let's see here. Display mode, center fit, full. Okay, so if you wanted a full-on vertical, I can do it that way. We'll just do center. Advanced configuration for the MAME. So I've never done it on these ArcadeNet games. I've only done it on add-on games as far as putting the game from here to there. I'm trying to think of how I would do it here, because the normal menu I'm expecting to see is not visible. Gotta find a... I don't have a keyboard hooked up, and it wants me to hit OK or left, then right on the joystick. There we go. See if this works. Again, I could stretch this, make this full screen, and look hideous. If I wanted to. Doesn't mean I should. I have no idea what the button mapping is, or if it's even going to transfer, but we'll find out. COOLTOY is looking tired. He's been going for a long time. Give him a thumbs up. I am tired. I've had one drink of water, and I have a bunch of LED lights shining on me and making me sweat as I'm sitting underneath my heater vent. But it's all for the community. Just trying to help out. Positive vibes. Alright, so that's the full stretched vertical. Obviously not, whoops, pixel perfect. That's how it should look. And then we got centered, so we'll just do centered. And we can add our scan lines if we wanted to. So we got our horizontal. I just realized I started 2 players, so this is not going to go well. Because that person is going to hold me back. Oh, wow. Okay, so I can use the D-pad and control the second player. Again, I'm not telling anybody to go buy this pinball machine and do this, but you can do it. And I would assume if I can add a USB hub up there, I can add multiple controllers and play games like that way. So if you were strapped for space and you only had one machine you could possibly have for an arcade and pinball machine and do it all, this would be something you'd probably be interested in because it can substantially do it all. And then supposedly AtGames has suggested that they would be making some sort of like interchangeable control decks here, so potentially they may make something that has a joystick and buttons. That might interest some people. That might turn others off, to each their own. Me personally, I probably wouldn't put a joystick and buttons here just because I'd prefer to keep it like a pinball machine, but I'm fortunate in that I have multiple different ways to play arcade games, so I'm a little biased in that aspect. Oh, well, okay, I accidentally figured out what the rewind button was, but let me back out. We'll test an add-on game or something. Get here. No sleep till pinball. This feels so wrong. What's it like inside? So it is just a bunch of wires and stuff. So I've filmed all the inside. It's harder to get into this than it is the Arcade 1-Up one. It's nice and easier because it has like some interchangeable panels on the back side that literally just open up, and then you're inside and you can mess with speakers and things like that. But as far as underneath the playfield and everything, that is harder to get to because you would literally have to take like everything off, top glass, side rails, the monitor to get underneath it. You can take this portion off relatively easy and get access to the plunger, the buttons, the USB encoder that goes to these front buttons here. That stuff's relatively easy to get to. Way back here is your main PCB that is encased in an aluminum housing. I haven't taken it off because honestly, I don't care what kind of PCB is inside this thing. I know some people get like super excited about that thing and they're like, oh my God, it's running a rock chip, whatever. I don't care if it's a hamster on there as long as he's got water and food and he's running my machine and doing a good job. So that's what's going on back there. There's a controller board on the back side of it as well that has your connections for your power, your display, your speakers and everything. It's kind of like your main hub that controls everything and runs to the PCB. That's what's going on inside there. In the back box itself, you just got your speaker wires and your two connecting cables. One's a thin ribbon cable for your second back box monitor, and the other is just a plug and play connection that's, I think, like 10 pin or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I didn't stare at it, but it's literally plug and play, 2-click connections, and everything's up and running. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy as far as putting it together and assembling it and everything like that. I was kind of amazed just how simple it was. Back. No, I don't want to do shock troopers again. That's my bad. Hit the wrong button. Quit game. I'm like confusing my brain here because I'm holding a controller and I'm still using this, and there we go. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and play all these ArcadeNet games. You can, but you don't need to. I've got some games thrown on a USB thumb drive. I'll show you real quick what that looks like. Actually, wait, we were talking about changing the display, so. And I realize I keep doing that. I keep going to here when I can use the controller. I don't need to use the controller, but since it's here, I might as well take advantage of it. Display HDMI setting. There we go. That's what it is. So right here. So we got main display, channel. We'll just change second display. Okay. And I think if I hit that source. Nope. I did this earlier. Maybe it was. We'll come back to that because I've got another stupid, silly thing I can show you and how this works with it. But that's where you would essentially bounce it from one to the other. But I think I have to have a secondary HDMI source to actually use that. So I may have misspoke when I said you can throw the game from one display to the other. Rewind back. We need some Ninja Clowns action up in here and then get back to pinball. Ninja Clowns. All right. So I've got way too many add-on games on this drive. So Ninja Clowns. Why of all the games would you suggest that one, Patrick? Of all the games to suggest. And of course it keeps kicking me out. I think my Wi-Fi is being spotty. I think I have Ninja Clowns on here. Oop, went too far. Maybe I don't. Decisions, what to play. This is why I don't like do the Raspberry Pi thing where people add like 14,000 games, because you spend like 20 minutes just sitting there scrolling trying to find a game you want to play. We'll play. I'm always a sucker for beat 'em ups. Here, we'll just do Vendetta. Simple, easy beat 'em up. Show you what that looks like. So again, we got horizontal bezels on the side that are stretched because it's not meant to be displayed this way, but pull up our options, and again, for add-on games, we can do the same type of thing. Stretch, center, fill. So if I got a vertical game, I posted a clip on Facebook group the other night, or last night, of me playing Galaga. Looks great, plays great. Very simple, basic games like that. That's what I would recommend if you wanted to do that. That's what this would be best for. But for horizontal games, things like that, obviously this is not ideal, but it's possible. Let's just leave it at that. Call it what it is. It is what it is. Hawk, because he looks like Hulk Hogan. And again, I'm using my controller. I can unplug it and I can use the onboard D-pad and everything, but why would you if you don't have to? So, dropping that elbow. Alright, back out and I'll just show you a vertical game real quick and then we'll go back to pinball because that's what we're here for, folks. We're here for pinball. Or at least I assume you're here for pinball. See if I can find... Where was it? Man, I'm blind this evening. Drawing a blank. Where did it go? I feel like I clicked on the wrong submenu because I think I'm in a different folder on my USB drive. Because these are definitely not the games I was expecting to see. Try that again. There we go. These are the games I was expecting. Here, we'll just play basic Pac-Man for a brief second. Everybody loves to hate Pac-Man, but there's a reason it is one of the top-selling games of all time. Doug, the live chat is probably requesting some more pinball. Yeah, I'll do this for literally a brief second just to show you it functions and what a vertical game looks like. Here. Vertical playfield fills up the whole 32-inch screen. Said I can use the D-pad or I can use the controller. But we're backing out. We're going back to pinball. Get rid of that controller. All right. You want back to the stock tables? You want me to try again with the ArcadeNet? Future pinball tables? Let me know. What are you interested in? M&M's for Easter still good? Oh no, those M&M's are not good. Fritz the Cat, 8-Ball Deluxe. Okay. Let's do Going Nuts. We'll do that one. Just because it's got so much multi-ball stuff going on with it. Need a drink. You need a drink. I need a drink. Let's pause for H2O. It's a good have this one just because we got so much going on. It really kind of shows that the game's not slowing down. It's still keeping that 60 frames per second while we got multiple balls whizzing, things hitting as I lose it. There we go. Dang it. I lost that third one right out of the gate. This is like wrangling cats playing this game because you're just all over the place, frantic, trying to keep up. Get computer or what's going on? Just oh yeah, I may have lost my internet connection. No good. No good. Well, that's out of my control, unfortunately. So if you can hear me, I apologize because I am looking at my internet connection and everything looks solid. So this may be on YouTube's end. And that is not something I can control or change. Seems like it's working now. But for how long, I do not know. I'm really surprised I've not yanked one of these cables out of the wall yet. Alright. Is it working now? Let me know. I'll pause for a little while just to see if we can get caught up, or if we have to call it a night, we'll have to call it a night, just because I don't want you guys to have to deal with lag or crazy YouTube issues. Going 2 hours, yeah, it's a good reason that I ate some early dinner earlier, because I anticipated this to go way longer than it probably should. But again, that's keeps logging me out of my account. All right, going back. All right, I'm still connected up top. All right, looks like we're back in business. All good, seems live now. Okay. How would you rate AtGames pinball table on a scale of 1 to 10? See, that one's hard because, again, I harken back to like the ever-evolving nature of the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade cabinet. So, like, So, pay no attention to the ginormous mess of stuff. But anyways, the AtGames Legends Ultimate Arcade cabinet, that thing has evolved literally on a weekly basis since it came out with firmware updates, changes. So it's hard for me to just say like 24 hours, let me judge this thing. But, you know, knee-jerk reaction, I'm well A-okay with the fact that I paid $700 for this machine. I feel like I've got my money's worth. I know it's probably only going to get better with future firmware updates over time. But right now, I definitely feel like it's $700 well spent, and it is a great opportunity for people, if you can get a hold of it, to get a hold of it and purchase this, as opposed to, you know, plopping thousands of dollars down for a big time virtual pinball machine. Obviously, if you spend that kind of money, you're going to get even more impressive features than what you can get for $600, $700 on this machine. However, for under $1,000, you can't go wrong with this machine or the Arcade 1-Up, because I think they honestly, for their features, ratios, and what they're offering at the price point, I think it's a great value for either one. If you have to pick one or the other, that again, I have to go back and tell you to list the pros and cons of each, because what you value versus what I value may be completely different, and I'm not trying to influence anybody to buy one or the other. I don't work for either company. I'm a fan of both products. I own all the products. I buy from both companies. I love both companies. I'm Sweden. I'm sorry. I'm a neutral party. I'm not a biased person that says one or the other unless there's a clear-cut thing. And since this is not really an apples to apples comparison between the two, I'll try to avoid making those apples to apples comparisons, because they are truly two different machines. The only thing they're really similar, you know, are virtual pinball machines. That's the two common factors. That and the price point, it's relatively the same. So again, that's why I tell people to go back, make an educated decision, what features, what games, what you like the most, and then buy accordingly. So, but I do like this machine. So what are we playing? What are we playing next? I want to hook up a Nintendo Switch to play Pinball FX. Is that possible? I have not tested that personally, so I can't answer that. I know you can hook up lots of stuff to the HDMI and USB port. I never personally was able to get a Switch really to work on the ALU cabinet, so just my 2 cents initial thought is you wouldn't be able to do it on here as simply as plugging and playing. It may be a little more involved to do that. Victory. Okay, we'll play Victory, because that's the first thing I saw. And let me show you the up close real quick of the table again, because it's hard to pick up on the camera unless I really get it up close to the playfield and show you. Again, this is blurry. I can zoom in on it. Makes it a little easier to read, but it's still pretty hard / impossible. It's like, again, I got 20/20 vision. I'm standing above this machine. If this was an eye exam, I would fail because I can't read this. Obviously, it doesn't affect gameplay, but it'd be nice to really understand the little features, because there's no like table guide on this. This is your table guide. So anyways, here's your flippers. Uh-oh. Can't tell if the stream froze or my camera froze. I do believe my camera is overheating, and that is why this is the second time it has done that. Reboot it real quick, because I think I know exactly how to fix it. Whereas last time, I didn't have a clue. But now, I think we're good. I'm honestly impressed that it's not overheated sooner. Oh yeah, we're fixed. Get my display back. Okay, sorry, had to reset this camera. Plunger, let her rip. And I lost it. Okay, I think we're back. YouTube's struggling hard tonight. Said I wish I knew why it was happening, but out of my control. Sorry, I keep cutting in front of the camera. Got too many things going on. All right, got TX sector here. Lost it. Can't keep a good man down. Trying. All right, finally. Okay, so see, like on the arcade 1-up pinball machine, the accelerometer, the way it works, like I can sit here and shake the machine and it bounces the ball. This one, not the case. Like the accelerometer, it's sensitive to the fact that like side slap. So like if I slap the machine hard enough, it'll engage the nudge feature. But it doesn't really bounce the ball around like I was seeing on my arcade 1-up pinball machine. So that's one clear-cut difference between the two. Again, they use different technology inside and different parts and components. So again, not an apples to apples comparison, but it's just an observation in case anybody is curious as far as little minute details Man, that was another fastball right down the pipe. All right, back. Sorry, I've got short-term memory, and I'm trying to remember. What was that table that John... Cue Ball Wizard. Okay, there we go. Try not to leave you hanging, John. And again, my camera keeps getting twisted sideways. Probably for me slapping the table. Cue Ball Wizard. Where can I get Terminator 2? You can get it on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. If you're talking about a real table. This one is a fun table.
Horseshoe extra ball round.
Go for the horseshoe.
Go for the horseshoes, he says.
That one, that's the extra ball.
Oh, lost it. Crap. Gotta be quicker.
Combo shot round.
Go for the round.
Hit the ball right there.
Yep, that's not gonna make it up the ramp. Lost it again.
You sure need that ramp shot.
Ugh. Yeah, I do need that ramp shot. Well,
No way round. The white target.
multi-ball. With the knockoff Clint Eastwood voice we got going there.
Time's up.
And lost them both. Alright, put in the initials real quick. What's next? What game would you want to see? We've played most of them. But there's still some left. If you want to see saved scores, we'll just check that out real quick, because I don't think I ever showed it. Available storage for saved scores, so you can actually save some slots. Interesting. All right, let's see. Hey, I found the DMD. Which flipper buttons feel better when pressing, the AtGames or the Arcade 1-Up? So again, that one's not an apples to apples comparison. Button-wise, as far as the physical button and the micro switches involved, I like this one just because it's better micro switches. However, since the Arcade 1-Up machine has those solenoids right next to the flippers, the quality of the micro switch is really kind of a moot point. Basically, the Arcade 1-Up flippers feel exactly like the Arcade 1-Up arcade buttons that we're used to in these last current waves. However, with that solenoid feedback, it improves the quality overall of the experience. So it's not really a fair comparison because this is using different technology in different parts of the machine for its haptic feedbacks. Better quality button and micro switch on this machine in my opinion, but as far as the fingertip feeling, the push goes to Arcade 1-Up just because the haptics, I don't feel that so much in my fingertips as I feel it in my palms on this machine. But again, that could change over time with a firmware update. So take it for whatever it is. That's the 24 hours I've played this machine and the week and a half I played the Arcade 1-Up machine opinion. Okay, what else we got? Hank, thank you for joining and watching the show. Cyberpunk 2077 pinball. Glass is good. Jacks to open. Okay. Put that down real quick. As long as there's feedback, you should be happy to feel something happening. Absolutely agree. I said, I don't think either one of them are wrong or right. They're different. People are going to have personal preferences, which one they like better. Teach their own. If you can, when these things are out in stores and there's a demo unit, test them out. Because it's a hard thing for me to verbalize and explain the difference between a solenoid feeling versus the exciter feeling, but they are different. But I'm glad they have it. If either one of them didn't have it, it would be a different experience because it takes you a little more out of the gameplay. It takes away the immersion, so to speak, just because you don't feel as in tune with the game, if that makes sense. So this is an older, simple table, but that's one thing about those older tables. Space between the flippers is always much more pronounced. You definitely got to be on your toes with those nudges. And when I lose the ball, I'll go back to this camera so I can show you the playfield again, because even though this is a simple table, it looks really impressive to me. Just as far as, again, the quality of how it looks. Simple table, not a whole lot going on, but the depth of everything that's on the playfield looks great. Really nice 3D quality. You know, simple table design, but comes across nicely. Looks good on the screen. Lost it again. I'm trying to get that ace. And I probably didn't do a good job showing it because I didn't look up this, but because that camera's not picking it up so well, but the score on this one is much more, easier to read because it's larger numbers and everything. It's not as tiny because it's not doing a DMD dot matrix display type of thing. It's got that old school digital configuration for the numbers, the analog rollover. Let me go back one more time, show you the back box while I'm talking about it. Much easier to read that score while you're playing than some of the smaller, thin-lined dot matrix displays on some of these other games. All right, AAA. What's next? I think we're running down the home stretch of games, but I will keep going as long as you guys are interested in seeing games. Obviously, I'll have a detailed, thorough, in-depth review video that shows anything and everything that this thing can do. Later on, obviously, that'll put me a little behind to put that together just because this does so many different things besides just play pinball. But, see, I think we played everything but Wipeout on here. Gotta nudge a lot more old tables, absolutely. Overall build quality is nice. I do concur with that. Like I said, the fact that you could take it out of the boxes and put it together so quickly was a nice bonus, but it feels solid. It's not a crazy heavy behemoth where like you can't move it by yourself, but if you wanted to, you can move it around. Like I said, I can pick this up by myself and carry it. I can't like turn in a doorway, obviously, because it's long and bulky, but whoops, what did I do? Hit the wrong button. Trying to play Wipeout. Enigma. In Russia, pinballs nudge you. Did I play Black Hole? I do believe I played that earlier. Being 100% honest, everything's kind of blurring together because I've been streaming for over 2 hours, but Wipeout. And I lost the ball right out of the gate. Need a ball save there. There we go. Ski lift. I got 2 traps so far. And the moment I think I'm doing better than poor, I lose it quickly. There's my avalanche. Man, losing that one quick. That's fine. All right, I think that's everything on that page. Played, teed off, victory, rescue 911, Jack's open haunted house, going nuts. Let's see. Think all we have to play no is Big Shot, Centigrade, Genie, and El Dorado. I think that's what we got left. Big Shot, Centigrade, Genie, and El Dorado, I think is what is left standing out of the 22 built in. 2020 was awesome for gaming. The year as a whole for humanity. For gaming, Genie. Okay, that's the first one I saw. Going with Genie. And while we're doing that, let me show you how this works. We got the QR code for the leaderboard. I'm going to hold my phone over it. I don't think there's going to be anything on there, but we'll find out. Okay, let me show you the camera here. Let's see if it'll focus. Maybe not. I don't know if, yeah, you might be able to see that. So if you want to check out the leaderboards, this is one way you can do it. Very simple to do. There's other ways. But you can see ArcadeNet, Ray's got the high score. He set it on 12:21, so I'm assuming somebody testing it. Simon Yang, Tampa Tech, he got his yesterday, playing 12:29, 11:55 a.m. So he was playing earlier. So, you can see some high scores that way. Play competitively amongst other people out there on the interwebs and compete for bragging rights and sometimes prizes, because AtGames typically does contests every once in a while. All right, let me show you the backglass on this one, just because I know it's not picking up on the camera very well. So this one, we got 4 tiny sections there, and then we got our counter there. So big screen, but the score itself is kind of tiny to see. So again, if you have bad eyesight, that might not be ideal scenario for you as far as keeping track. Oh, lost it right out of the gate. Oh well. We got other tables to play, and that was a very, very poor plunger shot. There we go. Misjudged it. And that was weak sauce. That was the worst shot. There we go. I keep trying to do like subtle skill shots on games that don't require it. That's my bad. Definitely need to practice on my nudges, as that one goes straight down the pipe. Sorry, I saw my name pop up. Show Mibu. Maybe when you have time you can show the adjustments on the backglass again. Yeah, I will do that when we finish our games, because it... Actually, I can do it right now, I think. So, settings. Backbox style. So see, went from stretched to now this is centered. So the image isn't stretched. I can actually read those numbers easier, but it doesn't fill up the whole screen. So you'll have to make your decisions, which is easier for you. Do you like the whole 15.6 inch screen filled? Do you want it condensed? Do you want the best fit? This one only looks like it has 2 options. A couple of the other ones had 3 options. So table by table, but that's how you go, just in the settings. And again, you can change things. I can invert the flippers, toggle the H up, and then backbox style. Yeah, that's the same thing. Display mode, classic, stretch, cabinet, default, classic. I haven't really messed with that one too much, just because I can't really imagine how else you'd want the display to look as far as the main playfield. All right, quit game. All right, we got Eldorado, Centigrade. I think we already played Big Shot. Like I said, I'm already drawn blank. I know Centigrade and Eldorado for sure. I want to say Big Shot as well. The Hipster Doofus. I am happy to help. I am just a humble servant of the community. Eldorado. Okay, we'll do Eldorado. Is it bigger than the arcade 1-up pinball? Yes. So this has got a longer body because it has a 32-inch playfield and everything. I don't have the measurements memorized right now. I can do that and type it up and send it out on Twitter or something like that. But yes, this is bigger than the arcade 1-up pinball machine. So if your house is tight on space, you're in a condo, an apartment or something like that, and you want pinball, but because this I think is like 85% size of a full-size pinball machine. So if you don't have that type of space in your house or wherever you're planning to put it, the arcade 1-up pinball machine footprint may be better suited for you. Got a little too happy. Man, some absolute garbage pinball play by yours truly, but this is an educational stream, not a performance. That was literally the shortest game of the evening. I suck at this one more than any game. That's what we've learned tonight. Because that was literally like 40 seconds tops. That's another reason I struggle to put money in pinball machines growing up. Is like 50 cents, 75 cents to play 3 balls. I could make 75 cents last so much longer on something like Simpsons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat. Like I could make those quarters last. Pinball, since I was a skilled player as a child, did not last as long as far as my gameplay experience. There we go, another older table. Right out of the freaking Groot. Oh my goodness. That's frustrating. That'll make you want a Monopoly and just flip the table over. It's like the game of Plinko. Might break that 45-second record. Saved it finally. Ooh, barely caught it. And lost it. Soul Man, you are welcome. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I wish I could be so much more active in the chat. This absolutely is driving me crazy that I can't. But like I said, the downside of looking here to also try to keep up with the chat, it's just my eyes can only go in so many places. So I apologize So big shout out to P-Dubs for helping me moderate the chat. I owe that guy a round of beers for sure. All right, I think we have 1 or 2 tables left. Look at the temperature going up on the backglass. Yeah, that's one of the cool features on this table. Hence the name Centigrade 37 is watching the temperature rise up here in the thermometer. Thank you, Show Mubu, for answering that. Yeah, I know that was probably asked 1,000 times. But yeah, 1080p, 60 frames per second, all the built-in games. That's what they run on. ArcadeNet games, the same case. But if you were around for that earlier, we were struggling to get those to work on Wi-Fi very well, which is not how it is recommended to even play them. So back up. All right, I can't remember if we ever did Big Shot or Black Hole. So we'll do Big Shot real quick, and then we'll do Black Hole. And we may try ArcadeNet one more time, and then we'll call it a night, because I got to work in the morning, and I just realized it's 10 o'clock, and I've been going for like several hours. Holy cow. Wife's going to yell at me. You guys are going to back me up, though, when she tries to kill me, right? Say, hey, he was doing it for us. He was trying to be helpful. Because I'll need you guys when she comes at me with a pickaxe trying to like murder me. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna be awful at these older tables. I'm not a skilled nudge player, and since I got that wider spot here in the midsection, I'm prone to lose the ball very quickly. And I lost it. I do like the back box animations, though. I mean, they're very, very, very well done. Whoever, put that together did a really good job programming and animating that, because they've all been really smooth on all the games I've played. Like when you score, it pops up. Like there's no delay in between the two communicating. So that's always great. It's how you want it to appear and see. All you can do is laugh at that point. All you can do is laugh. Pitiful. All right, we'll finish with Black Hole. Because I can't remember if we ever played it or not. I want to say we did, but it all blends together. Lost that one quickly. So again, we got this super cool animation right here, but our score is literally teeny tiny. Here, let me switch again. It's another one of those examples where you got this awesome animated back display, but the score itself pretty small. So you definitely got to be focused if you really want to track your score. But overall, again, all these tables look fantastic. Sorry, a little bit of glare there. All right. Do you want to see me try the ArcadeNet games, the pinball games again, or do we just want to call it good? Not going to hurt my feelings either way. Like I said, we had a not so good experience testing them earlier. It was like I don't know, we were like 2 for 5 or something, I guess is what our luck was trying to play those games. Completely up to you guys. If not, we can bid adieu and wrap it up. Any chance for future t-shirts can be V-neck? I know, weird request, right? You're talking about COOLTOY shirts? Because, yeah, I can do that. I don't ever focus on merch or anything like that. So, like, yeah, I can make any kind of shirt you want available. Just let me know. Shoot me an email at my email address, cooltoy_23@yahoo.com, and I can figure something out for you. Call tonight. Thank you. All right, we'll do that. All right. Several hours. Had fun playing this thing. It's a great machine. Again, I paid $600 for it, $100 shipping, so $700 in total. 100% feel like I get my money's worth. I'm excited to see what the future holds for this machine, because I know with firmware updates, just like on the Legends Ultimate machine, it'll continue to evolve and grow and do all sorts of neat things. The online connectivity for leaderboards, if you're a high score chaser, things like that, then yeah, absolutely, you're going to be loving this. You're going to be able to compete with friends and against these table machines. So even if they have an AtGames Legends Ultimate arcade cabinet, they can play those pinball games against you on that. Or if they got the Gamer Pro, the Gamer Mini, those type of, standalone joystick consoles, they can play these pinball machine games on there and compete against you. So it's kind of cool that there's this whole ecosystem universe that everybody can, have a piece of the action and play those type of games. Obviously, the experience of playing pinball games is going to be much better on a pinball machine than it would on an arcade cabinet, but to each their own. Everybody can do whatever they want. Like I said, we can play horizontal and vertical arcade games via ArcadeNet or add-on USB, things like that. And there's another whole slew of possibilities that I've yet to test or crack open, because honestly, I've just had 24 hours with this machine and I work multiple jobs, and it is what it is. But hope you guys found the stream informative, helpful, entertaining, whatever. I hope you got something out of this machine and this live stream demonstration, because all I'm really trying to do is help you guys, the consumers, because $600, $700, $500, that's all a lot of money. I don't want anybody to spend that type of money and feel like they wasted it. So I'm just trying to be as forthright as possible, telling people what it does, what it doesn't do, what I like, what I don't like. But honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think you can go wrong with the Arcade 1-Up pinball machine or the AtGames Legends pinball machine. Toy Shock pinball machine, well played. I haven't got to play yet, but they're all good options for what they are and the price point and everything. Could you have a 100% better experience on a $4,000, $3,000, $2,000 virtual pinball machine that was custom made, that's got a PC? Probably. 100% likely. Would you have to spend a lot of time configuring it? For the most people, yeah, you would. Can you buy these from a retail establishment, unbox them, put them together in like 30 minutes or less? Yes, which is, the biggest feature and selling point I think these new virtual pinball home arcade offerings have for them, is that the casual consumer can literally grab it, put it together really quick like a bookshelf, plug it in, and just be raring to go. Can you make it do all sorts of tricks and things later down the line? Yes, but will most casual people do that? Probably not. So there's pros and cons to everybody out there. Just, you can make this machine whatever you want to make it. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, I've been rambling. I love every single one of you guys in the chat. Again, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to keep track of the chat, but playing pinball and just having as many people we had in the stream tonight. I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Special shout out to P-Dubs for helping assist with the moderating. That's a lifesaver. P-Dubs is a great guy. He's a good friend, and I love supporting him, and I love the help he's done for the community, for the AtGames company and the Legends Pinball, the ALU, Arcade 1-Up. He's like me. He covers it all. He likes it all. He doesn't have a bird in the race. What am I saying? Dog in the race. Dear God, you can tell I'm getting tired. Dog in the race for either company. We love all these home arcade offerings. So thank you, P-Dubs, for the assist. And guys, have a great evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Take care, guys.